right, it was a weekend that really went down well and good for many, especially Chelsea fans who never saw it coming. But in the end, it was sweet victory for the team led by Sarri as they actually shot out the champions 2-0 at the bridge. And you have to say that it was a weekend of surprises in football. And then for Nigeria, we have to talk about the weekend that actually got down really well as far as the National Sports Festival is concerned. It is happening in Abuja after 6 years in limbo, and we are back and running. Nigerian sports is back and running well and alive. That is how we welcome you to Sports Extra this lovely Monday afternoon right here. And of course, my name, Basi Manuel. Always a pleasure to be here to guide you through the activity right here on Sports Extra, your Africa Independent Television. Of course, we set the ball rolling like we normally do with the global sports tidbits.
Sand Eagles have recorded their first win in Group B at the ongoing 2018 CAF Beach Soccer African Cup of Nations in Egypt after defeating Libya 6-3 on Sunday. The Aldu Ejor side had lost 2-0 in extra time to defending champion Senegal on penalties following a 4-4 stalemate after regulation time in their opening game on Saturday, while Libya put 5 past newcomers Tanzania. Emeka Ogbonna and Abu Aziz both bagged a brace in their encounter, while Emmanuel Owofera and Suleiman Ugodo got 1 goal each for the Super Sand Eagles in the encounter. The Super Sand Eagles converted 6 of the 12 shots they had on target. They are now second in the Group B table with 3 points from 2 games with a better goal difference of +3 over Libya, who also have the same number of points. The Super Sand Eagle will face Tanzania in their last Group B game this Monday at 1:30 p.m. Nigerian time. Super Falcons head coach Thomas Dennerby says his team have a good chance of making it beyond the group stage at the next year's FIFA Women's World Cup in France, despite being in a tough Group A with hosts France, Norway and Korea Republic. The draw ceremony for the 2019 Women's World Cup tournament took place on Saturday in Paris. The 9-time African champions have made it past the group stage only once in the history of the Women's World Cup, but Dennerby is confident his team can scale through the hurdle and progress further in the competition. The Nigerian ladies will begin their France 2019 campaign against Korea Republic on Saturday, June 8 at the Stade Auguste Delaune Reims. Football's world governing body FIFA and the French Football Federation FFF have signed an agreement aimed at developing football in Francophone Africa. FIFA President Gianni Infantino and FFF boss Noël Le Grain hope the deal will contribute to the FIFA Forward program in terms of technical support. Infantino said at the signing of the agreement in Paris that the agreement is a first for FIFA. The French colonial empire in sub-Saharan Africa collapsed more than 56 years ago, but ties have remained strong between France and Africa, and this latest agreement is viewed as part of a drive to raise standards in the sport. Super Eagles winger Alex Iwobi says he's elated to see Arsenal extend their unbeaten streak this season following Saturday's hard-fought 1-0 home win against Huddersfield Town at the Emirates Stadium. The Gunners stretched their unbeaten run to 21 games in all competitions this season, courtesy of Uruguay international Lucas Torreira's 83rd minute beautiful volley. Iwobi, who has been one of the Gunners' outstanding performers this season, came in for veteran defender Steven Lichtsteiner at halftime in the encounter. It was the winger's 13th appearance in the English Premier League this season and 4th substitute appearance. Crystal Palace are reportedly interested in signing £12 million rated retired Nigerian international Victor Moses from Chelsea. Moses played for Crystal Palace between 2007 and 2010 after coming through their youth's rank, and the Chelsea winger is back on the club's radar. The 27-year-old has struggled for game time under Maurizio Sarri this season, making only 1 start in 6 appearances for Chelsea this season in all competitions. Moses, who fell out of favour at Stamford Bridge under Sarri after playing regularly under former manager Antonio Conte, has seen only 26 minutes of English Premier League action so far this term. He played in 40 matches as Chelsea lifted the Premier League title in the 2016-2017 campaign, while he made 38 appearances last season. Moses retired from international football after featuring for the Super Eagles at the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia, where he played in all 3 group games and scored once. Jurgen Klopp has hailed Mohamed Salah after his hat-trick against Bournemouth on Saturday propelled Liverpool to the top of the Premier League. The Egyptian opened his account midway through the first half, netting the rebound after Ashmi Begovic parried Roberto Firmino's fierce shot. He doubled Liverpool's lead shortly after halftime with a neat finish and following a Steve Cook own goal. Scored his 10th goal of the Premier League season after beating Begovic twice to complete a 4-0 win. The victory took Liverpool to the top of the Premier League table ahead of Manchester City, who later lost 2-0 to Chelsea later on Saturday. Liverpool will face a tough week ahead as they will play Napoli in the Champions League on Tuesday, with their hopes of progressing to the knockout phase in the balance, and Manchester United next weekend. Wolves forward Gareth Bale scored the winner as Real Madrid moved back into La Liga's top four with a hard-fought 1-0 victory at bottom side Huesca. Bale ended a run of 10 matches without a goal in Spain's top flight with a sumptuous side-footed volley. Huesca should have equalized after the break, but Gonzalo Melero headed wide from close range. Victory for Santiago Solari's side leaves them 5 points behind leaders Barcelona, who thrashed City rivals Espanyol 4-0 on Saturday. They will next play on Wednesday at home to CSKA Moscow in the Champions League, having already secured a place in the knockout round. Carlo Ancelotti has insisted that Napoli will play to win at Anfield when they take on Liverpool in the Champions League on Tuesday, despite only needing a draw to reach the last 16. Napoli will arrive on Marseille's side top of Group C, while Liverpool needed to beat the Italians 1-0 or by 2 clear goals to overhaul their opponents and secure a place in the next round. Ancelotti, however, said playing for a draw is not in his side's nature. Napoli rested several first-team players against Frosinone in Serie A on Saturday, and like Liverpool at Bournemouth, recorded a comfortable 4-0 win. And finally, in basketball, the Chicago Bulls have suffered their worst ever defeat with a 133-77 loss to the Boston Celtics. Guard Jaylen Brown came off the bench to score 23 points in what was the Celtics' biggest margin of victory in franchise history. Celtic forward Daniel Tays made his first start of the season and delivered a career-high 22 points and 10 rebounds. The Bulls' 56-point margin of defeat surpassed that of the 53 they fell to at Minnesota in November 2001, and victory for the Celtics eclipsed their 51-point win over the Philadelphia Warriors in 1962. Victory also meant the Celtics stretched their winning streak to 5 games. And that's it on Global Sport News Tidbits. Enjoy the rest of the show.
We take you around the entire globe to bring you what has happened, what is happening, and what will happen as far as sports is concerned right here on Sports Extra on your Africa Independent Television. All right, yes, some of the things that went down over the weekend, results of matches played in the various leagues, and then the Women's World Cup standings, the groupings that is. You have to look at the group that involves France, Norway, Nigeria, and South Korea, and that is the one that really concerns us after the Super Falcons well, they were able to win the tournament, the AFCON in Ghana, but not convincingly enough for us to say that we have a team that can go to the world and improve from their best showing, which was just first round qualification to the next round, and up to date we haven't moved past that. We hope that will happen. Yes, the FIFA Women's World Cup standings for you. Germany, China, Spain, South Africa in Group B. That is going to be another top group for football lovers to enjoy. And we have results of the English Premier League games played over the weekend. Manchester United really fine in their mojo back, winning by 4-1 at Old Trafford against Fulham. Was a good result for Manchester United and Jose Mourinho, the coach. Then the big one, we talked about it when we opened the show, Chelsea hitting Manchester City 2-0 at the bridge, and Leicester City losing at home to Tottenham Hotspur 2-0. That one ended. Newcastle were not able to make the home advantage count as they lost to Wolves by 2-1. Then this Monday it will be Everton taking on Watford. All right, yes, it's still Sports Extra right here. And as we speak, the jostle for medals is really going intense in Abuja. The National Sports Festival. Aman Ikechukwu Ajonuma told us earlier ago that the latest medals table shows that Delta State, the defending champions, are topping the table. They are followed by Lagos and Bayelsa. All right, some of the action from the National Sports Festival for you. The hockey pitch has been busy with exciting games. Let's take a look at the highlights of some of the games.
Try and go down and go and collect it because they are looking for you. Huh? Yeah, they are looking for you.
All right, action coming from the hockey pitch, the Abuja National Stadium, where the National Sports Festival is taking place. Yes, we told you that Delta is setting the pace. The defending champions are leading the medals table. They are followed by Lagos and then Bayelsa in that order. But again, you have to say that the competition at the end of this day, it might just change. Well, the National Sports Festival is on about 37 sports in all, making it there. And we do have the sports known as sailing. Yes, sailing is part of the sports being competed for at the National Sports Festival. Now, I tell you right now, we're having in the studio someone who really is a pundit, who is an analyst, he is a passionate follower, and someone who actually engages in sailing as well. He's going to talk about the sport of sailing and how it can benefit us. I have with me in the studio Malik Shehu. He is the president of the Lagos All Sail Championship that is coming up. Malik, it's really good to have you join us in the studio today. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, yes. Sailing. Now, let's talk about sailing. This is, we know that it is an aquatic sport, other sports that are done with water, on water. And sailing, what is sailing? Because unreally, a lot of Nigerians, when they talk about sports, outside boxing, athletics, football, basketball, sailing will be strange to them.
Yeah, correct. Practically, this part of the world, we have, you know, a lot of water surrounding our land, but unfortunately, we are not engaging in sailing. And like I usually tell my friends, water is given. It's natural that we have the creeks here, we have the lagoon, we have the ocean surrounding Lagos and Nigeria. But unfortunately, we're not putting all of these things to use. Now, when you talk about sailing, you have, I look at it from three corners. You have the motorized sailing, which is the powered boats and stuff. Mm. Then you have the manual sailing, which is rowing and all that. Then you have the, what they call it, the last one, you have the wind sailing, which is usually controlled by the wind. Then in Nigeria, we have few persons that are able, or few establishments that are able to carry on with the wind, which is like Lagos Yacht Club, they do wind. But after that, every other person, they are doing either motorized, which is like boat and stuff. Then the people in the creeks, they use more of this manual rowing.
Yep.
So we are looking at all of these things. It's good enough that today Nigeria is beginning to have them as part of the competition they are winning. They are,
Yes, yeah, I
competing
was
for.
going to talk about that. We're
Yeah.
having it at the National Sports Festival at that
Yes.
level. That
Yes.
means
Yes.
there's a kind of a
Improvement.
progress and improvement.
Yes.
But it has to be better than that.
It has to be better than that, but we have to grow the interest. It is currently passive. So we need individuals that can come together, have the faith in the water, that we can bring people in the water, we can have leisure, we can have all the fun in the water, can color our waterways. So currently you can see we have water surrounding us and we don't even use it. It's seriously underutilized. We are not using the transportation part of it, we're not using the adventurous part of it, we're not using the leisure. So it is no sport. It is just being left to itself like that. So we just have to wake up, get on it, and pull out some serious things in the water. And at the end, it's to our own benefit. The world is using their water. America, Europe, Dubai, everywhere, they're using their water. We don't, but we are now.
All right, yes. It's really good to see that that is coming. We have a lot of waterways. We are a country that is not landlocked. We have a lot of water from Lagos up to all through to Port Harcourt and all of that, so we can make use of this. But how can this be done in such a way that you can have a young boy, a young girl aspire to be a star in sailing, for instance?
Okay. Yeah, Nigeria is a littoral state where we have water everywhere, both in the creeks, in the lagoon, like I said, and even the ocean surrounding the entire landmass. This is the point. These things don't happen from the air. Someone has to get it going. Like I usually tell my friends, if anything is working, someone gets it working. Someone is making it to work from the background, from the back end. Now, talking about getting the young men to get involved in water activities, we believe that, first of all, starting some races, some competition on our waterways, which is what we are trying to do with Lagos Oil Sale. What you do here is we have a race for the cruiser boats, which is quite fast. Then we have another race for the speed boats, faster than the cruiser. Then you now have the jet skis. Everything is not about boats. You have the jet skis, so people can get engaged in all of these things. Awards will be won. People will get more interested in water activities. We'll bring everybody closer to the water. You can now have people buying. Then we'll have boat show, where we're going to have the most beautiful boat, in Nigeria being displayed for everybody to see. At the end, the winner of the boat show is going to be the Queen of the Sea. Then who wins the cruiser race is the King of the Sea. Then the Prince of the Sea are the jet ski boys. So we have different categories for different people. All we want to do is to color our waterways and get it to work. Bringing investors to the water, they should improve our waterways transportation, which is going to be good for Lagos and Nigeria. Now everybody's headlocked on the land, especially on the island. And
So
we
you're
have water
talking
looking
about
at you.
sports like sailing actually opening doors and windows of opportunity in actually improving our transportation system.
Yes, we actually have it abundantly, but we're not using it. So why would anybody want to leave Aja or Ikorodu down to the island and you're going by moto, or that's the vehicle on the road? We should have gone with your boat, more convenient. So that would have shifted a lot of traffic from the road, that's from on land, to the sea, to the water. And when it is busy, it will also reduce some accidents because you have regulation going on the water. You have NIMASA, they are there checking about. Then you have LASWA, you have NIWA, you have all of them, even the Marine Police. You have the Navy, they are all supposed to be on the water, watching what's going on there. Then when these people are there, they ensure every boat is secured and protected. So the casualties will be reduced, accidents will be reduced. Until we get there, until we get everybody hands on deck, come on. But we have started it.
Okay, it's really good to see that. But again, some argument against sports like this is the fact that it is capital intensive. It's expensive to actually aspire to become, is it a sailor now? Someone who can engage in sailing, because you need to have a boat and it's not cheap.
Very good. If the beauty about this is, we are talking about unemployment here and there, but I can guarantee you that at the end of what we're doing, it's going to create a brand new set of career for people. First of all, it's going to open up the waterways. A lot of people are going to be attracted to knowing how these things work. You don't just have to come and buy boats and stuff. You go through the process. You have to learn how to be a captain or a sailor. When you've gotten that, someone will employ you. Like you have boys going to aviation schools. Now you now have boys going to these nautical schools and find out how these things are done. Before you know it, it's creating employment. Newer boats are coming on board. You have technicians coming on board. you have the market being expanded and your lives being saved instead of these mishaps.
I'm also bothered about watching this. It's happening in water. I'm also bothered about the fact that since it's a sport and there's competition, there has to be some spectators. Where would these spectators be?
Oh yeah, we have an arena where we are operating from. Like we are going to be at Biggs Garden in Lekki Phase 1. So the arena is very big, overseeing the Lekki Ikoyi Link Bridge. So we are all going to be there, and we have a big screen overviewing what is going on the high sea when the race is on. So we can transmit what goes on there right here for you to see at the arena. And they take off from here, they run around the whole Lagos waterfront, Lagos Island waterfront, and come back through Lekki to where you are. Then we pick winners across board. So hoping that who wins this year will become a defending champion next year, like EPL. So by so doing, we are activating and making water attractive to the people. With this fear of mermaid, come on, mermaid cannot be in Nigeria alone. He should be there other places in the world. So if he's not killing them, why is he killing us alone?
All right, Malik, this is really interesting. We want to say a very big thank you for coming. But then, by the way, the competition in Lagos is happening. When is it? Are we expecting this to happen?
On the 14th of December, that's on Friday.
Okay,
Yes,
all right.
from
okay.
12 o'clock till evening.
I will try to see how it shapes up and then pans out there. I want to thank you very much for finding time to come here to talk sport with us, and we do hope that when next we call on you, you will oblige us.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
Malik.
sir.
All right. All right, yes, that has been Malik Shehu. He is the president of the Lagos sailing competition that is about to happen in Lagos, and you want to say that the more the merrier, the more sports that are introduced to the Nigerian youths, the better for the country, because they can actually channel their energy to those sports and then be productively engaged within the context of sports. Yes, this is a sports extra, and we are moving back to the National Sports Festival. Some stakeholders have been speaking and talking about a development that is what you want to say. Up next.
In a mixed bag for Nigeria. It's been good in some aspects, it's been not too good in some aspects. In the area of sponsorship, we have to do better. Other sports are dying, they are suffering. Emphasis has been on football, but good enough, the football we are emphasizing in is also bringing results gradually. For example, the Super Eagles got a ticket to the Nations Cup. This is the first time in about 5 years. We missed 2 editions. Our Putin football team, they failed to go for World Cup in the past 2 editions, or 3. They were at the World Cup this year, and we're now 19th in that competition. Other sports, athletics, what are we doing? Basketball, yes, we're doing well in basketball, but we want it to also be better than it is. Even though we went all the way in the female basketball, we surprised many at the World Cup. Falcons are in the final. They have also qualified for the World Cup. The under-17 ladies, they didn't make it. Somehow, I think the NFF is emphasizing on true ages of these players, and that is also commendable. We're also doing well at that age grade level because we are seeing some young guys that are truly about that age, which is good for development. But facilities are not good enough in the country. We can get better. Our league is also suffering. The way we ended our league abruptly leaves so much to be desired. Our continental teams did not do well as usual. Moving forward, we also have to look at the next year. How can we better what we have done this year? We need better facilities. We need more sponsors to embrace the game. We need to make our league stronger, such that we'll be more competitive at African level, instead of us going for competition and then coming back after first and second round. Nigeria has been a country when crisis has always prevailed in our sports. It's unfortunate. You remember we also had it in football, such that it was the second term election that has died this issue, or it has died down due to the recent elections. In basketball, the FIBA representatives came here. I'm surprised that up till now the crisis is still on, even though FIBA recognized Musa Kida, and they are also doing well, getting results. Now, there are some other beats that are also having crisis. Even athletics, I learned there is crisis in athletics, and it shouldn't be so. We should develop sports rather than fighting here and there. We need peace in our sports. We need peace, we need facilities, we need sponsorship, and we need true leaders who are passionate to drive these sports forward. very passionate to drive it forward rather than go ahead and abuse themselves, fight themselves, and do all sorts of things that are negative rather than positive to actually get results for Nigeria.
And analyst Kunle Salami speaking on the year that is winding down in a matter of weeks. We will be saying goodbye to 2018. That is some sort of a look back at how the year went for sports in Nigeria. Tomorrow will be another time. That will be the Tuesday edition. We will actually continue look back at 2018 with a view to making it better right here on Sports Extra. My name is Pasi Manuel. On behalf of the entire production crew, do have yourself a wonderful day. God willing, we'll see you again tomorrow.
Experience with the thrills and frills of the 13th edition of the Warrior Game, a grandiose interactive concert of music, comedy, and dance at the Echo Hotel and Suites on the 28th of December 2018 and on the bank of 8 p.m. Musical performances by Kiss Daniel, Tim Maya, Pato Rankin, Davido, Olamide, Shoyi Shay, Two-Face, Wande Cole, Ricardo Banks, Mayoko, Malik Berry, LAX, Falls, Tiwa Savage, Yemi Alade, Mr. Real, Omaumi, Victor A.D., Adago, Peruzzi, Eriga, KC, and other unforgettable surprises. Comedy by Oke Bakasi, Godon, Funny Bone, Sheyi Law, Young Chief, Calvin Sack, MC Flaxy, Didon, MC Acapella, Mr. Paul, MC Shakara, Oguz Baba, Frank D. Don, SLK, Akpororo, I Go Save. Dance performances by Magneto Dance Group, Martin Rock, Jenny Mena, talented DJ, DJ Copy, DJ Moy, DJ Bobby, DJ Exclusive. This event will be hosted by Bovi and Helen Paul. Hold your breath, don't miss it. Powered by and supported by AIT.
Nigeria's Niger Delta region, where the black gold continues to flow and fuel Africa's largest economy, where the line between wealth and poverty has never been thinner. Oil, gas, politics, and development, all are highly valued commodities in the Niger Delta. How do they combine, and how can they work together to spawn a new era in the Niger Delta? Join ace broadcaster Mamode Akuga as he opens the file and takes you where you have never been before, probing deep and analyzing issues in the region from angles never before explored. Every Monday evening at 9 p.m. on AIT, the nation's treasure base will be x-rayed on Inside the Niger Delta with Mamode Akuga. Join us.
Politics is when people talk to people, people will understand. People talk to people.
You can see when people are happy with what government is doing. You can also notice when people are not happy.
When the mandate comes from the people naturally, and you are doing what they expect, obviously this is the reaction you get. That tells you that people came out overwhelmingly and voted for it, and we are doing what they want.
Papa, mama, and pikin. Everybody for the street to make we join body. Take a chance and do the correct thing. He done better for we land. Now only make we do one well. Oh yeah, my people. I rise to come and try to take a chance. I love my country, no me for mountain. Oh yeah, take a chance. May we stop the talk, may we start the do. Oh yeah, take a chance. United we stand, divided we fall. Oh yeah, take a chance. Yeah, oh my country people, take a chance. I love my country, no me for mountain. Oh yeah, take a chance. May we stop the talk, may we start the do. Oh yeah, take a chance. United we stand, divided we fall. Oh yeah, take a chance. Yeah, oh my country people, take a chance.
You don't know what we go through to get this foreign exchange. Eh? You don't know what we go through, we businessmen go through in this country to get this dollars. Eh? Everything is just hard.
See, you will not cobalize yourself. Oh.